Testing. Mic's on? Yeah, sounds great. All right. You ready, Mayor? In attendance?
Okay, let's. Barbara is not here. Randy. Mike Jones is not here. Chris is here. Kim is not here. Griffin is not here. Justine,
Here.
Sarah.
Here?
Mike Yeager. Not here. Charlotte is here, right, Charlotte?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, good. Hey, I hear you too.
Right, clear.
And Angela's not here. Okay,
All right,
so
great.
now we need the pledge.
Pledge of Allegiance. Have the minutes from February 27th for approval. Anyone like to make a motion?
I move.
Second?
I move.
Fantastic. All right.
All in favor?
I would like to say, my last name is not spelled correctly.
Mine too, actually.
Thank you. Okay. So first up is Mike Jones' Planning Board report. I don't believe he sent me anything, and he is also not here. However, Merrill did just deliver this letter from the Lower Township Construction Office from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. Perhaps now would be a good time to look at it. Who was this originally sent to?
The Environmental Commission.
Huh, okay,
Turn your speakers on, please.
they are.
No, I just looked at Hope and
Oh.
Line and they weren't.
We're good.
I'm on.
Okay, so this says, this letter is to provide you with legal notification that an application for a CAFRA individual permit has been submitted to the NJDEP, Division of Land Use Regulation, for the development of the enclosed plan. A portion of an existing structure at an existing marina will be converted to a restaurant bar with expansion of an existing wood deck. The complete permit application package can be reviewed at the municipal clerk's office. 30-day public comment period or public hearing will be held on the application in the future. Individuals may request a public hearing on the application within 15 calendar days. So this is for H&H Snug Harbor Marina. It is in Lower Township, so it's not directly related to the scope of our commission. However, perhaps we would like to make comments on it. Presume that's why it was presented to us.
Does that map show where it is?
Is that the Harbor View? Former-
Harbor View? Ah,
I'm not sure. It is, okay.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Red roof across the bay?
Yes, that would be the
Yes.
Harbor View.
I just didn't know H&H Snug Marina. I've never heard of.
H&H is where the crab shack is.
Yeah, there
right?
was a crab shack and it was
Yeah.
a fish market for a while.
Okay.
That's a tiny little building.
Well, here's the plan.
I think the legal requirements, if you're a neighbor, they need to contact.
To notify the
Like a city
municipalities.
name is the neighbor.
Do you want to see
see.
that, Hope?
Yeah, just a little.
So you might talk to Mike about it, or
Yeah, perhaps they're planning
he
on,
has other things just for today, but he'll be back in town.
okay.
And Justine, we do have visitors that maybe we should take care of first that's not on the agenda.
Sure.
We're good whenever. We're okay.
Is there something that is relevant to this discussion?
No, I was gonna say, we can wait till the end if there's open discussion.
It would help if you would take a microphone at some point,
Okay,
so.
do you, we can wait till the end though.
Sure, for the public portion?
Yeah.
Great, okay. So, an update from Councilman Yeager on council issues, including the Dark Skies resolution. And an update on the proposed new police station is on the agenda. However, he is not in attendance. Perhaps our city manager might have something to add on that.
Thank you. Yeah, at the last meeting, we did adopt a dark skies resolution just to acknowledge Dark Sky Week, which is really next week. So we'll do a little social media blast about that resolution and just put it out there. But I saw it was a sample resolution you guys had passed around, and so we kind of took it and had city council adopt that resolution. And the police building, that project is moving forward. We've submitted the project to SHPO, the State Historic Preservation Office, for their review, and it's just moving through the process.
Are there any plans for a public event? Do you know of any private clubs, or maybe the Astronomy Club, or even the city is planning anything just to note Dark Sky Week?
No, we just, made the resolution as part of our formal adoption.
We made the Star and Wave this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of publicity about it, but there's no particular event that we know of. Like, we'll all go down to the beach and look up together.
As a part of the Dark Sky Week, was there any plan to incorporate the school system?
No,
Perhaps we could.
there was, unless you guys were planning on something, I literally, I saw that you guys were passing that issue, that around, and I thought it would be, since we were having so much discussion regarding the ordinance for dark sky lighting, that, we might as well acknowledge, the Dark Sky Week as every other town might be. That was all. But no, there's no planned events for it, no.
Okay.
I think it's too bad it's so short a time period. I think it would be great if we could do something
Yeah.
with the schools. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think the school kids would get quite a kick out of it, and then take that message home to their parents as well.
Exactly.
But school doesn't meet during dark hours.
No, but if you
No.
have an event but I think it's too late to do that because there'd be all kinds of planning and permissions and whatnot. But if you could have an event where, I'm being a little flip, but really, let's just go outside and look up,
Yeah, they can learn about it in
Yeah,
school and then
yeah.
practice at home.
Exactly.
Yeah, but however, it is during their spring break.
True.
Fabulous.
Yeah. But we can ask for involvement next year.
Yeah, I think we should look
Okay.
ahead to that.
All right.
This year, of course, it coincides with the eclipse, so people are going to be out anyway, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
That's the original Dark Sky,
Yeah,
the eclipse.
exactly.
Okay. And then in terms of updates, can you deliver us any information on the proposed new police station?
We do have, if you look on our city website, I have added a construction project page. So if you want to, it gives a little blurb about it, and it does show a picture, an elevation view of the proposed police station. But, as far as impact with you guys, at this point, there isn't any.
Okay. And so for Councilman Yeager,
Yeah, I'm not sure what his what he was thinking about as far as an update. I know he's out of town this week.
Justine, we might want to find out how green that building's going to be and if solar will be included.
We are anticipating solar on the roof. The roof it has a little extra height than the mansard roof to accommodate solar on for the building.
And other energy efficiency measures, such as like,
Normal building codes, yeah, just normal, I don't think, yeah, I mean, that's standard building code items, nothing more advanced at this point.
okay. Charlotte, did you catch that? Yes. Yeah, okay. Paul, while you're up here, will you talk to us also about the dune vegetation information and the site that was forwarded? It's also on the agenda for today. It was in an email that was sent around to the commission.
Is that the email that included the link to the 100-page document?
Yes.
Which my computer even, just refused to even think about opening.
I mean, that's the dune management plan that we worked on. You know, I discussed it at the last
Right.
commission meeting.
Are there highlights or some way that we could get an executive summary or some kind of version of that that isn't 100 pages?
I can see if I can pull some stuff out
That'd be
of that.
An executive summary would be great, not only for us, but for the public, too.
Yeah.
A lot of residents do have questions about what's going on.
Yeah.
So like a one-page bulleted list, I think, would be
Not a problem.
helpful.
Okay.
Not just.
Yeah, no problem. I get something.
Okay. Okay. Hope, do you want to discuss the document? you
Sure.
put together?
Excuse me. I think, I did email everyone copies. Charlotte asked me to draft, I think, but what possibly looks like it might be a brochure, some flyer of some sort on, mostly on solar energy, but on other forms, you know, eventually discussing other forms of energy to combat climate change. And so I condensed it down to it and emailed it to everyone, so, and asked you just to take a look and find my own copies of it. There it is. It does need a conclusion, and obviously it's open to corrections and suggestions and everything, but that was the draft that I did, basically condensing it down from the document that Charlotte sent.
Justine, I'd just like to add that our city manager kindly introduced and reminded everybody in town about community solar projects which are available to local residents. If solar doesn't somehow fit their orientation individually, that, you know, residents can become a part of this whole concept through community solar. And I believe at the last council meeting, and certainly I'll let our manager speak for himself, but it sounds as if they're going to continue to notify the residents and visitors of this particular program. And I'm wondering how that notification will go out. Is it through the city newsletter, or is there another vehicle?
Thank you. Yeah, so there's going to be two sets of outreach. First, we did started to put some information on our website regarding the community solar process. We're working with that vendor to, they're going to be distributing or mailing a letter to each resident about how to participate in the community solar. We're going to be working with them on that draft to maybe include a statement along with their letter on city letterhead so that they can, so that when you open it up, you don't think it's a scam kind of a outreach. And then once we know that that letter is going to go out, we'll do some outreach on social media just to let residents know that the flyer's coming and to expect it and not to toss it in the trash thinking it's spam.
Is there a timeline?
No, I mean, the only timeline is it's kind of a first come, first serve. So as they have different projects throughout the state that has a certain allocation, and then as people submit, it takes up that allocation. So obviously, the sooner you look at it and do it, the more likely you are that you'll be enrolled in the program. There is set aside money for people that meet the low to moderate income levels. So there is some additional incentive. Plus, I think they get an additional discount on the rate for that energy usage.
So some of the points in here that in the document that Charlotte sent me and that I documented, that I edited down, are already being worked on, implementing ordinances that expand solar energy and making it easier and more affordable. Is that what you're talking about? I'm not quite
I don't know if we're adopting ordinances, but it's a program that's
Yeah.
eligible to not just city residents, but really any
Is-
resident in the state
It's
of
in
New Jersey.
existence already?
Yes. Yeah, if you go to our website, you can start the process right from our website.
Okay.
When will those letters be?
We're still working with the vendor to know. I don't have
Gotcha.
a timeline, but hopefully over the next month.
Charlotte, did you get a chance to look at what I did?
I do see that. I suppose that the information is pretty dense, and I was wondering if there is somehow some of this could be in the form of, instead of the density of the written word, for the convenience of our targeted audience, that some of it be in terms of graphics. That's what I don't know how the commission feels about that, but certainly we've been successful in notifying the public through the newspaper ads and so forth with some beautiful graphics, and I wonder if that could happen with these pieces of documented information.
Well, I can't do the graphics part, but I'd be happy to work with somebody to do something out. I'll do a friend of mine used to say words and music. I'll do the words, they can do the music.
Charlotte, was that a very polite way of asking me to use Canva to design a yeah.
Or-
I can
or it
assist
doesn't
with
have
that
to be
too. I
you.
know that's been on your
Okay.
Somebody else
plate,
can-
yeah.
I realize
Okay.
Yeah, I can help with that too.
happen to be a brand new mom again, and it might not fit into your personal schedule, but
Well, Sarah just volunteered to help me, so
Yes.
we can do that, to have it ready to go for distribution for the summer.
Shall I meet with you and do the words part?
Sure.
All right, let's talk later and we'll make a date.
Perfect,
Okay.
okay,
thank you so much.
all right.
You know, I was thinking, and I wanted to share this with the group, that only recently off of Pittsburgh Avenue did we have a cluster of new homes. And had we had, some kind of adamant insistence, maybe those homes would have had to have had solar as well as yards that feed the wildlife. Do you know what I'm saying? That was
You're talking about the ones that on the, as we come around, what is now the entrance to Cape May?
Yeah.
It's an entrance, you can get into Cape May.
Seems like we don't have that opportunity very often for that sort of number of homes that are very similar in terms of, so we need to keep our eyes and ears open if that happens again.
What, was it 8 years ago that those applications were first submitted?
Was it really?
I think it,
Oh, they were at least more than that even.
and now we have a much more direct relationship with planning. So if, we should be made aware of any sort of application that is submitted,
Yes,
you know.
thank you.
Well, we do get the applications having to do with landscaping.
With landscaping, yeah.
Yeah, and, I mean, other ones that even do not have landscaping elements in them too. So last month, we looked at the renovations at the, what used to be the Montreal, and some of the suggestions were landscape-based, and some of them were regarding electric vehicle charging stations and materials used in parking lot, so.
So you're looking for an environmental
Guidelines?
guideline for planning board having to do with global warming.
Beyond the scope of just landscaping, yeah.
But Gretchen usually gets the landscaping plans, does she not?
She did. Last month, she was away, and
Right.
so Mike sent it to me.
Good.
And then I had noticed some elements of the application outside of the landscaping that were kind of within the scope of the Environmental Commission to comment on. And I spoke to Mike and said, hey, can we include these? And he said, absolutely. The commission should be commenting on more than just
More than just
plants.
landscaping, yeah.
So hopefully that's the direction that we can move
Good.
going forward.
Right, because in the HBC guidelines, it includes information on lighting. Does
Right.
it also include information on the landscaping, vegetation?
I'm not sure HPC does landscaping at all.
I
Yeah.
don't believe they do, but if they are discussing lighting, that is conceivably something that we also could make comments
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Particularly given the new awareness campaign relating to light pollution.
Exactly. Could be worthwhile.
Charlotte,
Yes.
does that cover the range of what you were hoping to see?
I would be very, very grateful to think that we're extending beyond landscaping and our input there. This would be terrific. Thank you.
But just remember, that input doesn't have to be, if it's not in the ordinance, the planning board really has limited ability to require it. Just, so you may want to work with the planning board on, looking at suggested ordinance revisions, if that's really your goal and focus.
All right. So next up on the agenda is Charlotte to share information pertaining to the development of solar-powered technology from engineer Maria Telks.
Yes, and the reason that I want to mention it, it certainly does piggyback with our topic, but more than that, March is Women's History Month as well. And when I came across this article about Maria Telks, I was astonished to think that somebody in the engineering realm in the 1930s was thinking solar power. And Maria Telks became known during that period as the Sun Queen, as she worked her way as a scientist, moving from Budapest, Hungary, where she obtained her doctorate and came to the United States in 1937, started to work for Westinghouse and then MIT. And what she did was she introduced the first solar-powered house. She created it so that everyone could see that indeed electricity from the sun would help the U.S. government develop some solar-powered homes as homes that could be healthy and have the cleanest fuel. And as an engineer during the World War II, she took solar and she helped the United States in terms of, and actually other countries as well, develop a solar-powered water distillation machine in 1942, and her invention helped our soldiers turn the seawater into drinking water. So there's an awful lot of history, and we could go back to the beginning of solar as well, but I just happened to see this article about her, and I thought this is an opportune time for us to remember that solar is certainly not new, and I'm sure that many of our species of humans have somehow used solar through the eons. Anyway, there she is, Sun Queen, and good time to mention her name if we haven't already learned about her.
Well, I'm inspired. Seems
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, application for solar still throughout the world is very evident for potable water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only we could turn seawater into drinking water. I don't know if anyone went to Wawa yesterday, but the coffee machines were out and they weren't able to make any food in-house because of the sewer lines that they're working on, so they turned the water off. So they weren't able to sell any products yesterday. If we had seawater into drinking water, we would have had that.
Well, it's concerning when they talk about potable water and sewer lines in the same sentence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
exactly.
scary.
Yeah.
Point. Well, it seems as if Ms. Telks should be a name that kids are educated on.
I've never heard of her.
From
Yeah, me
the
either.
beginning with the likes of other scientists of note.
Put her up with Tesla.
One of the things that I was hoping to discuss today that wasn't, or that isn't on the agenda is instead of Ocean Fest, because Gretchen indicated that it's not happening this year, is as a commission, what we would like to do instead. And maybe taking Charlotte's lead, perhaps there's something we could do related to solar. It was a great way for us as a commission to be in the public and make the town aware of our work, and not just like what we were working on immediately, but also past ordinances. And so replacing it with another initiative or event is an opportunity we shouldn't let go of. I think we also have it in our budget.
When does that happen? Just
It happened the first week of June.
just take a check.
So it's a time to start planning for something. I don't know if anyone
Is
has.
it called Harbor Fest this year?
Yeah, so Harbor Fest is apparently being rebooted, so there will not be Ocean Fest and Harbor Fest. I do not know when it will be. I just know that there will not be Ocean Fest in the first week of June.
All right.
Sure.
Well, I love the idea, and I'm certain that in planning for nature center classes with children through the years, that there have been topics, you know, solar, so that there have been experiments that they conducted hands-on. Perhaps we can talk to Gretchen about what she remembers about those particular classes for children and the appropriateness of the ages and so forth. But there are wonderful, wonderful guides for us in terms of dealing with experiments with children. So thank you very much, Justine. That's an absolute wonderful idea.
We'll see.
It seems like we could incorporate, I know you want to speak,
Yeah.
something,
It's okay.
incorporate something into Harbor Fest. I don't know that we could run our own festival.
Right,
But,
yeah.
no, that, no.
We should, with those funds and the energy that we put
Yeah.
into planning something, like, do something,
We
do
should,
something
well, I'm
productive
saying,
with
I'm
that.
suggesting that if possibly we do something within that Harbor Fest concept, but make it a big deal,
Okay.
you know?
Hi, yeah. So I'm Casey Radigan. I'm the Director of Civic Affairs, Recreation, Tourism, and Marketing for the City of Cape May, and I'm in charge of Harbor Fest. So the intention of bringing it back is because it was such a fan favorite in the past. And I know that's why the Nature Center then started Ocean Fest to kind of make up for it. But I am a big fan of Bay Fest and Summers Point, and that was the inspiration for Harbor Fest. And so I started bringing it up to everyone to see if we could bring it back, and it's happening. So June 29th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. is when it's set for, and the rain date is June 30th. So just this last week or two, we did put out the flyer. So it's official, it's marketing, the marketing is out there. And I would be beyond thrilled if you would participate in some way. It's kind of between the city, the Nature Center, and the Chamber that's putting it all together. We're all working together. So the city is responsible for the vendors that are there for informational purposes or businesses, crafts, the music, and then the Chamber's helping with the food vendors. And the Nature Center is going to do on their property their programs and the kids' programs and the things that they do, as well as a beer garden. So we can provide whatever you need. If you need table, chairs, tent, space, we'd be happy to work with you, our department. So that would be awesome if that's something that the commission would be interested in working with us. That would be great.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Perfect meeting to come to. That's not what I was here to talk about, but.
Okay.
It's going to require some serious and fast discussion on our part. That's not a whole lot of time.
Is there, well, we have a few months. We have time. Yeah, it's end of
months.
June.
And yeah, and I would say at least just my opinion from your perspective as to what initiative you could bring. I think, and we can help too, if there's any pamphlets or flyers or anything that we could print for you guys and provide for you guys, then this way you guys can have that and be more of an informational booth. I don't know if, what did you do for Harbor, or for Ocean Fest?
We did a mix of informational stations and then interactive stations where
Okay.
we had kids and families together making
Yeah.
chemical-free garden sprays or planting seeds, doing like a guessing game, which is an invasive species, which is a native species.
Yeah.
But then at least half of the station was pamphlets.
Informational.
On ordinances of the
Yeah.
past that people don't know exist.
Yeah, and I do know that Gretchen does have programs lined up.
Could you remind the commission that we won an ANJAC award and that our mayor was awarded an outstanding citation as well? Could you kind of just let them know about that?
Yeah, right, so Charlotte is correct. The state, Association of New Jersey for Environmental Commissions did award us 2 recognitions for what we put together at the Ocean Festival.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I know it is just a few months away. If there's anything we can try and help and do. I do know that Gretchen does have programs lined up, or she's planning on programs, and I know she's a part of the commission, so I don't know if maybe that's something, if you all spoke with her and maybe worked together, I don't know, but I do know that they do plan on having programs on their, on the Nature Center lot as well.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can do it.
Okay? All right, you're in.
I wasn't implying that we couldn't do it, I'm just saying we have to do it fast.
Oh, that's awesome.
2
So,
months is not a lot of time.
yeah, so,
Can you roll the solar issue into that?
Well, that's
too?
what I'm suggesting, that we do something on solar energy.
yeah. And I was the one who built the website page for Community Solar, so I have some idea of what's going on with that company. And I know we are still waiting. The ball's kind of in their court of the flyer and when we're getting that information. But I certainly have contacts, and I don't know if we can just kind of work together. I can give you the contact information, and maybe they can provide some information for Harbor Fest for you guys.
That's great.
Yeah.
Can you email
Yeah.
us the information that we might need?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want me to can I just put you as the contact and I'll email you? Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Thank you
any
guys.
information you would like included in the minutes, why don't you email that to me too? I'll-
Sure.
My contact.
Okay.
And I will volunteer to work any table, because I can do one thing is talk. I don't know about helping.
Yay.
All right, well, this is great. So what else
Yeah.
would we like to discuss? Because now we're in the public portion.
I'm gonna bring David over. So this is our recreation director who works with me in the department. So I want to say maybe it may have been last Earth Day. Mayor Mullick did come to me and was hoping that we could do something like what they do in Cape May Point called Dune Day. So we did do some research, and I wanted to bring David along because he did speak with Cape May Point, and it does very much involve their environmental commission too, as well as the DEP. And so if you're open to it, I just was going to see if David could share what he spoke to Cape May Point about with all of you, and then kind of go from there about if the city would be interested in doing something, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, so basically it's their yearly event, where they go and they'll plant everything on the dunes. So it's either going to be grass plugs, bushes, trees, everything native, obviously with permission from DEP, everything that's native. So it's a thing you do all year, every year. So we're hoping to kind of do it here on our end also, obviously with permission from DEP and those things.
We've done that in the past, but now we're waiting for DEP to, if I understand this correctly, we're waiting for DEP to decide some of the issues that have to do with dune planting in Cape May, because we've done that.
We don't need, the city doesn't need permission to plant grass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the other plantings that
No,
we
it's-
need.
what we're getting permission for is if we want to remove invasive species off of the
Oh, I see.
dune. That's
Well-
the main discussion of what we may or may not need a permit from.
We've
the
done dune
DEP.
grass planting a lot. I mean, for, not every single year, I know, but for several, we've done that as well. Okay.
But this would be a
Just clarifying.
coordinated public event.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've spoken to the mayor about it too, and I just pulled out my notes
Yeah.
from it, and it was saying it's like a fall planting
Mm-hmm.
event.
October, I think.
So that leaves time.
Yeah.
for us to do it this year. We start planning now. When does Cape May Point have their?
In October also. Yeah, because there's no water needed, you can just kind of put it in there. There's obviously going to be loss throughout the winter and fall with the plantings, but in that time of year, you don't have to worry about water or anything because of the temperature and all the rain we already get, so. Little maintenance.
Okay.
Well, the Corps is going to be taking half our beach, the front promenade from, I guess, Madison to Poverty. Isn't that the project, the large
Would it
project?
take,
Well, it's going to be a large construction project.
The
If you're
expansion.
talking about the seawall expansion, that seawall is not going to take any of the beach. The seawall is on top of the existing stone revetment that's already there.
But they have an extensive,
yes, but not
Right,
out,
but it's not going to go outward into
not outward onto the beach.
beach.
It's the length.
or
I
dune.
remember seeing an extensive planting design.
Yeah, but it doesn't show, it's not taking any of the beach
It's just
where,
extending it all the way to Poverty, is that right?
correct, the promenade's just going to extend down.
Yeah.
If we extensively planted in that area, now it would likely be disrupted during the construction phase, correct? If we planted dune grass in that
Not,
area now?
not necessarily, because the work is all going to be done from the Beach Avenue side. It's not going to be done from the beach.
Okay,
So I did walk the promenade, and it seems everything down towards that end is pretty good right now. I'm thinking more closer over to like, Convention Hall to probably lifeguard headquarters. That's the spot where it needs the most attention.
That's where we looked, remember, last year, and found that it had been
Yeah, that's where the big empty
by,
spots are.
by Public Works.
Yeah, yep, that's where it needs the most attention.
Convention Hall to Lifeguard. What is the situation with poison ivy in that area? I know in the.
Well, that's part of the discussion we're having with the DEP regarding the removal of the invasive species as part of the dune management plan.
Because, I mean, a dune day sounds fantastic, but how do we recruit volunteers if
Well, you
we're
don't want,
asking them to?
you don't want volunteers to be doing poison ivy.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, I get that, because we do a beach cleanup for Earth Day, so it's not necessarily a guarantee of getting volunteers. We do try and, at least from our department, we do try and get involved, some of the employees involved for the different things. But there might be some interest, even if we also reach out to, I know the Garden Club might have some interest. I know there's different groups that might.
Garden Club has done dune planting in previous years.
Yeah, so I feel like it might be a little bit more, we just might have to outreach a little bit.
We can ask the Kiwanis, the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
If there's poison ivy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and before the actual program itself, we'll do like a
Inspection.
inspection pre, because what happens is we actually lay down the plugs and the bushes and trees and et cetera prior to it. So when you walk the people out there, they basically go there to put everything in themselves. And then for like little kids, we'll do seeds, but everything will be already pre-planned, so we're not just throwing them out into the dunes and walk everything. It's all good and live. So that's not what we're trying to do, but
We'll send
yeah.
David
So
out there to inspect.
So is that something where you go and inspect way earlier?
yeah.
Like, we could do that before we start marketing and
Correct.
planning? Okay.
Yeah.
The Dune Day is more the community
Yeah,
aspect
it's
of it.
Justine,
Yes.
in the past, we have recruited through the county some community service workers.
The prisoner release program,
Yeah, that's not available anymore.
not available anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. But this sounds like you guys are pretty organized. Really? I mean,
yeah. I envision more to be just a community event more than anything
Yeah.
else. So.
that's
I think, I can't speak for the mayor, I think that was also more the intention of just another community event and trying to preserve the beautiful city that we have and the beautiful beaches that we have. So, yeah, on the back end, preparing and planning, that can absolutely be done with us and with you guys together. And then more of the forefront is for just the beautification.
Have you selected a date?
This is our first stop. We just came here to see, yeah. Well, the first stop was David went and spoke with Cape May Point, and then we,
With their environmental commission also. So I actually
Yes.
talk with them, I got all their ideas, who they worked with, what they'd done, and we actually walked the promenade together and kind of got her ideas of what she thought would be good spots. So, and I love if we got that far to have somebody from you guys come on out and we'll take a look at together and see what you think would be a good spot too, that needs the most work, it's the most safe, and those things too.
Were you seeing them kind of happening in the same week? So we could kind of market them in tandem or very close together?
I haven't seen any other one, but I haven't done much research, but I haven't seen any other one other than Cape May Point, but we can look and see.
I mean, with like Cape May and Cape May Point, if we
Yeah.
did one.
Yeah,
I know there has, I believe that one at Avalon, Eastern Harbor too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a,
yeah. But it would be nice to kind of make it, especially a South Jersey shore thing. That would be awesome.
and yearly, I think it'd be
Yeah.
great here, because
Yeah.
we can just keep growing, because I'm thinking more realistically, you're probably 3 blocks long. You don't want to take up the whole thing at once. The whole thing at once is going to be really tough to do, so I think every year we focus on one section.
Great.
Minus poison ivy, though.
Well, I'll talk to the garden, when it's appropriate, I'll talk to the garden club as well, so.
Yeah.
Include me in.
Yeah, and I'll send, so Meryl, I can send you our notes on this too, if you wanted to add that for the minutes. And then, I guess from here, we can just see if, I mean, we can talk about it too, but we can kind of establish a date and maybe come back to you guys and see if that date, what your thoughts are on that date, and kind of work together that way.
I could be the
Great.
liaison.
Okay, great. So, Chris.
Okay.
I've done some beach plannings,
Wonderful.
Awesome.
And I
hard.
have been de facto
fun.
Canva
It's fun.
flyer
Yeah.
person for this commission. No background in design,
Love it.
Oh my
but
goodness, I can take that on, honestly.
you.
Because, my background is marketing and I've
Okay.
done a lot of graphic design, so.
I love that.
can
So maybe
definitely
we can
Yeah.
help publicize
Yeah.
the Dune Day
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we can too, so we can absolutely work together on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Wonderful.
All right, well, thank you guys for letting us talk about it and bring it to you too. So I know it's something that would be, it's unique and I think it would be special for the city. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It would probably also be an extra point in that sustainable Jersey silver certification. I don't know what the exact categories are. Charlotte, maybe you do?
Yeah, the green team is due to meet again in April. I'm remembering that it's either, let's see here, I think it's either the third, it's on my other calendar. I believe it's the 16th of April that we will have another Zoom meeting. Yeah, that's it. And before that, I think that if any of us have any information to help with obtaining a good score for our city, we should have that material available so that it can be added. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen next, but I'll know more in
Okay.
April.
We can also inquire with Cape May Point about their date and see if they would, at this point this year, want to kind of be in cahoots. So, and then that way it'll establish a date for us at this point before April, and then we can kind of go from there. So David can follow up with them, and then we can let you guys know.
Okay. That's great. And then perhaps, Charlotte, that can be included in the application.
I'm sorry, that sentence just broke up.
Perhaps then this year's Dune Day could be included in the application, even though it is a forthcoming event.
The phone is not cooperating right now.
It's okay.
so sorry.
No, it's okay. Anything else?
Okay.
Are you envisioning like a large, I don't know, Dune Day? Large homegrown effort, meaning like volunteers, and you'll be providing the plant materials?
We be,
And USDA involvement?
No.
Okay. Well, because the plant center right up the road here on Route 9 has been involved before. They seem to have locally grown American beach grass, panic grass.
contacts to get beach grass, that's not a problem.
Okay. I'm just thinking, are you going to do any invasive species removal, you think?
Not at this time, we don't have permission.
Okay. That's the DEP approval you were working on? That's funny, it's that they're kind of, you would think they would jump on that and say, yeah, okay, let's get this done, but,
We're talking about bureaucracy.
yeah.
Sir, did you have anything you wanted to add, or just listening in?
No, at this moment, things are, the phone is, I don't know what's going on with the reception, but the last few minutes have been kind of futile for me here, I'm sorry. But I appreciate everyone's input and effort, and that's really all I can say.
You might, I've never been here before, you guys probably covered this. You might want to check with your insurance carrier. Did you say you're putting panels on the police station roof?
Possibly.
The city manager.
Companies are starting to have a problem with that, they're drowning people. So I would look into that. And mandating, you were saying something about people down in Pittsburgh, maybe it would have been a good idea to mandate panels. Could be an issue with the homeowners getting insurance coverage. I just went through it. I lived in North Cape May 33 years.
The city has that covered, don't they, Paul?
I live in North Cape May. I've been there 33 years. They had the hurricane down in Florida about a year and a half ago. I promptly got a letter that I'm being canceled. I never put a claim in. I had the same problem maybe 15 years ago. So I would suggest you talk to your insurance carrier before you do anything. You probably already did that, but anyway, just a suggestion. I wasn't planning on talking today. But I just went through it, so I figured I'd give you a heads up.
If it becomes a city, a regulation or anything like that, then that's, Paul, is that true that it would be covered in any discussions of regulations, wouldn't it? Insurance
Yeah,
issues?
But I doubt that we're going to develop a regulation requiring solar panels.
Yeah.
Right. But if I'm sorry, let me put it another way. If it became anything official or any kind of policy, that would be part of the discussion, insurance issues, yeah.
Well, when I hear either people are getting canceled or they're just jacking the insurance up so high that they just drop the policy.
That's happening with flood insurance as well. Flood insurance is the
I'm
same.
talking about homeowners.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about homeowners' flood insurance is now being canceled.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Or raised up so high that,
Yeah. Well, the flood insurance is a federal program. I haven't heard anything about that, but,
I'm sorry, let me put it another way, homeowners' insurance because of flood threats.
Well, are any other comments? No? Meeting adjourned.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, I love these tips.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
Justine, can we talk about a flyer?
Absolutely.
So,
I wonder what he wanted to discuss. Before you head out. He wanted.
I think he was just observing.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere.
okay.
I think he was just here to watch. He's just a member of the public.
He lives in North Cape Bay. He came here to listen to something.
Well, he's gone now.
They do that.
So interesting.
We've done it before.
All right.
I have to be honest with you. All right.
I mean, unless you're doing it where
Let me just
you
move
lay it
over.
out and then we get behind.
I had no idea what Charlotte wanted me to do. She asked me to draft it down, and I did.
They do it.
What the purpose of it was or anything like that, I just do
Yeah,
not
they've
know.
done it like they did
Oh,
before.
good, okay.
So I edited it down.
And then I will,
I got it down, and obviously, if we make it into Brooke Shore, it'll be downer.
unless you want to take it down.
I mean,
But I had no idea why she didn't tell me I was doing it, and I'm good at that.
Go there and kill 800
what
plants.
happens then also is, then you can
I have no idea. So we would
Did
do
it- did it
projects,
more
and
for
we want to do a solar thing for,
So I will
I used to have a guest.
The height of the plants.
to
So you don't want somebody planting something that's too small.
last summer's newspaper.
Yeah, something that's too large and it gets no light, kills it off.
The water conservation ordinance and one was for the invasive
the certain plant's not good enough light,
So this summer.
mature out.
Anything you want me to include?
I've done mostly, when I was at Bean, I did all,
Sure, I'll just send you
it was
some
all
bullet
wildflowers,
points.
not too much dune, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
dune grass is totally.
And we can just
When you just put them together.
My cell
Well,
phone.
Yeah, little plug, yeah.
but they're,
Okay.
And just tell me who you are and just don't send it blind because
Okay, sure.
Maybe
No
that's,
problem.
I'd probably just do it by them, just team. I was thinking about having like a team leader, maybe they can
we've
help.
got David who.
I mean, I'm with them, I just
and
wanted
then
to,
the best thing is to get like a bunch of,
Last name is S.C.
like broom poles.
yeah. Yeah. And there was, I don't know if you ever heard of this group.
You want to basically do the same format of the
Who's-
ones that we already